Hello everybody, my name is Solo, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be taking a look at some of the units that came out with the update, and B, some of the other stuff as well. So let's talk about specifically the units that I want to look at today are actually none of the units that I have equipped except for Black Mask and Void Mask here. Which I think Void Mask is going to end up being a good unit for the boss for the portals. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the boss I believe for the portals is fire typing. But yeah, we're gonna pick up those guys, and then we're also gonna pick up the 2 Battle Pass characters I have because I want to show off these characters that they gave through the Battle Pass. If you guys don't know, I believe the Battle Pass is Sakamoto Days, if I remember right. So there's like this one, there's like Killer Candy there, and then Umbrella Fang, and then if you get to level 50, you get Fat Shadow, aka Sakamoto. So yeah. Anyway, let's take a look at all these characters in depth and talk about probably where they would be put, and then show you guys like each one individually as like a unit. So why don't we start off with the one that I think is going to be great for the new boss in the like portals, right? Which is Void Mask. Void Mask here is a water type, and based on like what I've seen, Aqua type. I think Aqua type is the like counter to the fire, if I'm correct. I might not be 100% correct on that. Unfortunately, Void Mask currently does not have an Evo, meaning that you are kind of stuck with this kind of base version of Void Mask, which isn't the end of the world. Going over some stats that I have currently, there is a 500% ability damage at 10.40k. The ability cooldown is 28.5 seconds. Ability accuracy is 95%, so not really likely to miss. The cost is way down than normal because, well, I have a bunch of cost reduction, including, I believe, the hyper enhancement. I also have a limit spawn of 3, but I also have duplicator, so honestly, I'm not too worried about that. Spawn cooldown isn't bad. Health is 4,000, damage is 1,000, attack cooldown is 1.6 seconds, range is 13.1, speed is 3.1, and then it has an evade rate and a skill resistance. Evade is 10%, and skill resistance is 32%. Now, taking a look at Void Mask and having the passive for Void Mask is basic attacks have a 5% chance to execute any non-boss enemies, killing them instantly. Upon activation, stun Void Mask for 15 seconds. So basically, if Void Mask executes a target, Void Mask will get stunned. Which is kind of not great, to be honest. Like, I get it's like an insta gank, but like, kind of makes no sense, to be honest. But let's go ahead and let's take Void Mask into like a basic thing and show off kind of not only this passive ability, but also what I kind of see when it comes to the usage case for Void Mask. Because I think Void Mask very much is either going to be used to clear out tough enemies that are like higher health, or like make it easier for you to get stuff done. So if we go ahead and we sit here and, you know, we let our Void Masks spawn. I do have duplicator on my Void Mask, just so then you guys are aware. But so yeah, the base is going to be right here, which is the bases, like the base Void Mask that I already showed you. So if we wait a little bit, more Void Masks are spawned, and they're the upgraded versions, which is 50,000 and a bunch of other stuff, including better range, better health with 20,000, and of course still has the same passive that the others do. Now I don't think we're gonna get another Void Mask, so what I want to do is I want to upgrade these the Void Mask again, and then I'm gonna go ahead and if I can get him here and delete this one, I want to see what they what the new wave of Void Masks spawn in at. So with the new wave of Void Mask is 28, 10k, and 64k. Again, big thing about it is that the Void Masks are going to be doing not only the insta gank, which is like where they have the like tendril come out, but also they are going to be aqua. Yeah, see, when their like little thing happened, they literally go basically AFK for a second when they like insta gank something, and then they have that, which is their like actual ability. I don't know how well that ability, like that thing is, to be honest. Like, it's kind of weird. But I think the biggest use case for this character, if people really want the extra damage, is going to be using Void Mask against the new boss, because I believe it is a fire boss in the portals. So yeah, if you're wondering who exactly is Aqua, I don't know if there's any other Aquas. But anyway, let's talk about the next person on this list, which I believe is the one of the battle pass units. I was gonna do the like main character of Tokyo Ghoul, but I already kind of showed him well, actually no, I didn't show him off like entirely in the last video, so we'll do him first. So Black Mask, Scorpion, which I believe is the like, so the Eva before this, I'm not sure if that's where the main anime like ends. I'm not too sure, but I know Scorpion, I believe, is later on. And I know a lot of people don't like the version of Tokyo Ghoul, which is like the continuation, I suppose, of it. But for me, I'm like, I think I watched the base of Tokyo Ghoul and I never touched Tokyo Ghoul So, oh, give me 1 second, I forgot to go over stats. Alright, so this is, this is what I have on him. So I have the entirety of the like bunny set on him. So currently where his stats lie is he is a dark element. He is, of course, mythic. He has Scorpion, Smash, and then at 3 it's Whirl Devil. 500,000, or sorry, not 500,000, 500% ability damage at 22.89k. That is base damage, by the way, before upgrades. 20 second cooldown, 85% ability accuracy, so there may be some issues hitting the ability. His cooldown's this low because I've got not only Capitalist, but I also have a bunch of stuff that takes down his cost. He is a 3 spawn limit unit, or he might be a 2 spawn if I remember right, because I think he has capital. I think Capitalist gives an extra spawn if I am 100% correct here. Give me 1 second. I want to make sure I'm correct about that. Yeah, it increases spawn cap by 1 minus 50% cost. So yeah, a lot of his like decreased costs comes from Capitalist. He's originally a 2 cost or a 2 spawn limited unit. He has a 15-second send cooldown, 12.29 health, 3.82k damage, 2.4 second cooldown, 22 range, 3.4 speed, and then 10% critical chance. Critical damage is 150%, and then evade rate is 10%. Skill resistance is 5%. Honestly, the critical damage makes me think that they want you to build him into crit. So maybe that's one of the things that like people might want to look out for. Also, I just claimed like a bunch of XP. Anyway, So yeah, let's go ahead and let's test him out here. Now, one thing I am gonna do during these tests is I'm gonna turn off the autoplay feature, because what it does is it will spawn the actual like character, and what I want to do is be able to upgrade the character and then spawn the like final version of that character in, if that makes sense. And obviously we're not gonna finish each like level, so yeah, let's go ahead, and it's gonna spawn that one in, that's fine. We're gonna actually try to max him out. I'm actually gonna turn around and actually delete this one and see if we can get to 8,000 yen before these guys hit my goal here, which I don't think it's gonna happen, so I'm gonna actually send one of them out. So currently, one away from max, he's doing almost 100,000 damage with his ability. He also has a range of 30, which is nuts. I think he's only beaten by, I believe, Bunny, Itachi, and Madara are the only ones who actively beat him. Anyway, we're gonna spawn him in. This is the final version of him that's fully upgraded. 120,000 ability damage, 20-second cooldown, 35 range, which is insane. 5.7 speed. It's nice. Not the best speed. I believe Gaara is still the like best speed. I think his speed's like 8 or something. But yeah, does a metric ton of damage. And one of the best things about this unit is his passive, which if you don't know his passive, I will show it to you if I can find it real quick. We gotta pop out to show his passive, but yeah, he does very well in a bunch of situations, including against the boss. I actually do run him in my team now against the boss, so he does pretty well. I have completed the third portal, so I know I can do the third portal. It's not like the fastest thing, but it's still like you can still do it. His passive, of course, is when he is attacked, he gets plus 15% damage, and he gets 3% healing per hit. Now, moving on to the Battle Pass units, because this is one of the things I know people had like their eyes on when they were looking at it. So let's go and look at Umbrella Fang, who is the person we just got from the pass. And we're going to go ahead and get her up to snuff, which means basically I'm going to put all of her skills at least to S, just in case she gets an Evo in a later update. We're not going to give her any traits. I am kind of going to save those for higher end units, to be honest. But yeah, we're gonna get both the other two units up to snuff, and then we'll talk about them. Okay, so since we're running out of time, we're going to do both of these together. So we have Killer Candy, who is, again, from Sakamoto days. Passive is going to be inflicts 25% bleed damage over 5 ticks every time the skill is used. Self-explanatory, she uses her skill, she does bleed. She starts out at 500% ability damage, only at level 1 right now, so it's only 7.58k. Not actually that bad. Ability cooldown is 40 seconds, which is kind of nuts. Ability accuracy is only 70%, not great. 20 seconds, 1.36 thousand health, 1.26 thousand DPS or damage, and then 2.7 second cooldown. 16.3 range, 2.2 speed, and nothing after that. Right? Umbrella Fang has when unit attacks with skill inflicts hurt effect, making an enemy take 20% more damage. She's going to be really good as a, how do you put it, as an extra pair of like as an extra debuffer. She's a very big debuff person. Dark, of course, 6.37k, 25 second cooldown on the skill, 70%, only 800. You can get 3 of them, and then you can get it's 20 second cooldown on the spawn, 1.09k, 1.06k, 2.6 or 7-second attack cooldown, 15.2 range, 3.3 speed, and nothing in the other categories. Okay, let's go take both of these units into the... Actually, before we do that, I want to actually go in here and level this up a bit more, since we have some extra levels. But yeah, we're gonna go into chapter 1, Nightmare, create, and we're gonna show off the full form of these characters. Now, again, I say full, they're not level 50, they don't have traits on them for these two, so we're gonna see if base characters like these two as base characters are decent or not. That's basically our entire thing for these two. Whereas the other two, they like have been built by me already and like are used actively to try to get more damage and DPS out. So yeah, Umbrella Fang is the easier of the two to upgrade, as you can see. So we're gonna actually summon one Umbrella Fang out while we wait for the money to upgrade Killer Candy. Now, looking at Umbrella Fang at full level, without, again, only at level 1 with all the full upgrades, 7,000, like over 7,500 health, over almost, or like close to 5,000 damage, 2.2 second cooldown, 28,320 damage for the ability, 25 second cooldown on the ability, 20.6 range, and 3.8 speed. Again, these are subject to change just due to the fact that the unit is still very much new and also is very much not fully kitted out yet, but still as a base unit is still pretty decent. Now, if we go ahead and we watch here, she has a lot of different like attacks, which is pretty nice. We're gonna go ahead and delete her real quick because I don't want her to get to the point where she can go over their line and finish the battle, because I do want to check out Killer Candy before we go. But yeah, let's go ahead, and now that we have her fully upgraded, we'll wait until we have 1,250. Bam, and we're gonna summon Killer Candy. Now this Killer Candy 7,000. We'll of course look at her as she's running 7,000, 7.08 thousand, and then 6.31 thousand damage, 3.2 second cooldown on attacking, 37.88k ability damage, which is insane for a level 1, but it is a 40-second cooldown on the ability, 19.5 range, and 3.3 speed. So they're not really a big hitter in the sense of like speed or like throwing out their ability, but like her in particular, as I hit my microphone, her in particular is going to be a big one when it comes to being able to throw out probably a heavy hitting like ability hit, because even at level 1 she's already boasting like 28,000 or so damage, or if not more. I think I might not have that number entirely on. Sorry, 37.88 thousand. Like, and that's at level 1, meaning when she's fully leveled, she's probably going to be sporting somewhere in like maybe the 100,000 area of damage for the ability, which is also insane. But you gotta realize that her ability also does bleed damage, which means that she's going to be doing also damage after she throws the ability, which in turn is just kind of just nuts, right? But they're not like broken as like Bunny is, or as like some of the other high DPSs are, because, well, they're not 100% done yet. And that's the only thing that sucks about Battle Pass units, is like, until they put an Evo in for all these units, which we've seen in other games, they're kind of probably going to be okay at best, but not like the best, right? But anyway, I just wanted to go over these 4 units that I picked up from either playing the game or the like battle pass. I think some of the battle pass units are pretty cool. I definitely hope that they do in turn actually start like putting in evos for these units eventually, just so then it doesn't feel like we're getting battle pass units that have no meaning to having them other than being like weird set pieces. You know, I hope they get their own like updates and stuff. Like I hope we get a Sakamoto Days update where they get an evo. But yeah, anyway, with that being said, I think that's gonna do it for the video. If you guys did enjoy the video, as always, hit the like button, comment down below who's your favorite character to run in the entirety of Anime Rangers X. I think mine right now is Madara. I think he's been like my go-to for like almost everything. But yeah, let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on post notifications so then you guys never miss a video. And as always, I hope you guys have a good day. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.